So just rest your hands wherever they're most comfortable. That can be on your body or out to the sides. And just take a moment, let yourself land here on your mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And give your exhale a big sigh out the mouth. Good, again like that, breath in through the nose. And sigh out the mouth. Last one like this, breath in through the nose. And sigh out the mouth. Good, let the breath settle. If you can hear that, it's my heat whistling, not me breathing. All right, so we're going to start with a little neck massage. So what I'd like you to do is grab your block and you're going to place it on the low flat side, just underneath your head. And the position I'd like it to be in is if you were to feel behind your head, you have these two like bony parts that kind of stick out where your hairline and your neck meet. And when you place your head on the corner, on the edge of the block, you want it to be touching those points. So that's about the height of it, or the position of it on the back of your head. And everything else can be as you like it. We're going to take a deep breath in. As you exhale, you're going to slowly rotate your head to one side. So I'm turning my head to the left. And if you position the block adequately, then you will feel a little bit of massage where the block presses into that part of the back of your head. As you inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, start to turn your head slowly to the other side. And if you do not have a block, you can always use a book here or just turn your head side to side on the floor. You won't get the intensity of the block pressing into the back of the skull, but you will get the stretch in the sides of the neck. So a few side to side like this. And move slowly. It should feel like a little pressure. Complete the set that you're on and do one more side to side. Sometimes you can feel this come into the jaw if you are particularly tight in the back of the neck in this area. And when you're finished with that set, come back to center, pause. And then take the hands to the block and pull it out and set it aside. Good, and now you'll find your strap. We'll start by hugging, hug the left knee and thigh into your chest. And if you like, you can spread out the toes and take some circles with the ankle here. Just as a way to start to move into our extended leg position. So with the strap, bring it around the ball of the foot and send the foot up to the sky. If you don't have the strap, you can just let the leg extend up, or if it's available, you can interlace the fingers behind the thigh. That tends to bring the thigh a little closer to the chest though. So ideally we want knee over hip just to let gravity rebalance the pelvis a bit. Make sure the upper back and shoulders are comfortable. So holding on the strap in a way where there's no upper back or shoulder tension. And then you have the option to straighten out the right leg along the mat. If you do that, please flex the right toes. So all the toes would face up. And if you looked at the right foot, you'll also guide the little toe side of the foot back toward the face. So you get a little bit more of that active rotation of the bottom leg. You can certainly keep that right foot flat on the mat. And just take a deep breath in through the nose. And let it out with a sigh. And again, breath in. Last one, breath in. Bring both ends of the strap into the left hand, and you'll bend the left knee out toward the left armpit. Think about a half happy baby here. So the foot is flexed. If you don't have the strap, you might grab a hold of the outer ankle or the outer foot. And here you can keep that right foot or right leg extended, or you can bring it back to flat. Totally your choice. We'll take 3 breaths right here. And although we usually breathe in and out through the nose, tonight I'm going to offer that anytime there's any tension that you'd like to release, just let it out the mouth. And take one more breath in and out here. And if the right leg is extended, bring the right foot flat to the mat. You'll bring the left leg back up. You can remove the strap if you've been using it. We'll bend the left knee, bring both knees and thighs into the chest. Hands on the kneecaps, face your fingers forward, and just hug everything. Hug all the knees to the chest. And then listen up, because this next movement is a little bit tricky. All right, so take your knees forward so the knees are over the hips. Take your left hand and put it on your right knee so that your right hand becomes free. So it's across, left hand is across to the right knee. You're then going to send the left foot underneath you toward your right bum, toward your right butt cheek, and grab a hold of it with your right hand. You'll then take your left knee and let it fall down toward the floor and forward toward the front edge of your mat. All right, and ideally we're in one line, the left knee all the way up to the left armpit. So that knee will want to come out to the side, right? So bring it in a little bit. If you're comfortable with it, you can take the right foot and just let it rest higher than the left knee. So we're all twisted up here. This is a great stretch for the psoas. If you can't reach and hold on to that left foot comfortably, it's fine to let it go. And if there's a lot of space between that left knee and the floor, you can always just sort of tuck a block underneath the knee, like so. All right. So wherever you've ended up, if you're all twisted up and don't know where you are, take a figure 4, and that's fine as well. All right, let's take 3 breaths. Release that. Hug both knees into the chest. Place the hands on the kneecaps. Draw the knees in closer to the chest. And the next time you inhale, send the arms over the head, send the feet up to the sky, flex the toes toward the face. And then Exhale, knees and thighs to the chest, hands on the kneecaps. We'll do that twice more. So inhale, lengthen from the fingers to the tailbone, from the tailbone to the toes and the heels, and from the crown of the head to the tailbone, the part of the torso that's still on the floor. Last one like this. Extend on the inhale, everything long and reaching. And then knees come in. Good, so set the left foot down on the floor. Hug the right knee and thigh to the chest. And take those ankle circles or the spreading of the toes or a little bit of both here on this side. And then if you have the strap, guide the strap around the ball of that foot. Send the right leg straight up, knee over hip. The bottom part of the leg can be bent. Being comfortable in the upper back and shoulders, so holding the strap in a place in a way that is going to let any tension relax from the upper body. Option again to extend out that left leg along the floor. If you do so, the toes point up and you're guiding the left little toe side toward the face, rolling the inner thigh down toward the floor. 3 breaths here, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling either through the nose or the mouth when you need to release any tension. If you have the strap, both ends of the strap come into the right hand. You'll bend the right knee out toward the right armpit. That little half happy baby on this side. Remembering you can always bring that left foot flat to the mat as well. 3 breaths right here. Bring the left foot flat to the mat if it's not already there. And then you'll bring the right knee and thigh to your chest. Release the strap if you have it. Both knees bend, both knees and thighs into the chest. Hands on the kneecaps, face the fingers forward. And we're going to do that funky little psoas movement on the other side. So the knees come forward slightly. Your right hand comes to the left knee, freeing up the left hand. You'll bring your right foot toward your left butt cheek, reach the left hand for the foot. Maybe you can grab the toes, and then you're going to pull that heel toward your seat and let the right knee drop forward and down. All right, so you can always let go of the left hand. You can bring the left foot. Try not to bring it onto that right knee, bring it above, right? If you want a little extra press. And you can expect one side to feel quite a bit different than the other. If your brain did not follow the right and left, it can be really tricky to figure out where your hands and knees and feet are going. Then a figure 4 is perfectly fine here. 3 breaths. Good, freeing up everything, hugging both knees into the chest. We'll take the feet up and then just rock yourself forward and back a couple times. And then we'll come up And make our way onto hands and knees. This is where you might want to place the blanket underneath the knees for a bit more support. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. I think we did this last week, but you know, sometimes I teach and I forget. We're going to do that thread the needle twist with the feet moving that we might have done before. So what that looks like is the feet are both going to pick up off the mat and move to the right and get set down while the right arm comes up. So we're twisting out to the right. And then as we thread that right arm underneath, the feet are going to come back and we're going to come down as we usually do, the side of the head, the shoulder to the floor. And then you'll inhale and open back up, the feet will go off to the right. And as you exhale, feet will come back to center and you'll thread through. Good, one more time moving like that, inhale. And exhale. Good, this time inhale, feet go off to the right, arm goes up, and we'll exhale and we'll stay in the twist. And for today, keep your left hand on the mat and just give it a little press and let your gaze turn up toward the ceiling. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Good. And then inhale, press your way back up onto all fours. Here's where you might want to find both of your blocks to the front of your mat. We're going to step the right foot forward into a lunge. And you can place the blocks underneath your hands. Hands are underneath your shoulders, right? So don't have the blocks way out here, right? So that the arm is at a diagonal. Bring it in nice and close. We're going to come up into a 90-90 lunge, which means instead of pressing that left hip forward, you're going to draw it back and make sure that the front knee is over the ankle, right? So the blocks can hang out here. Take a moment to get your balance. Press into the ball of the right foot. Press into the shin of the back leg. Inhale, take both arms up. Palms face each other. Imagine as though you could reach the ceiling with the fingertips, but keep pressing down through the foot and the back shin. You're going to take the left hand across to the right thigh, reach up through the left fingers, or the right fingers rather, and then side bend to the left. So it's kind of a little twisted up class today, I guess. All right, and you don't have to go far. Use your left hand to hold you in place. Legs are firm. If it's ever too much, you come back up. You can keep the hands on the hips. Lots of options here. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, getting longer and taller. Exhaling, getting firmer and steadier. Good, last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come up. Release the hands, bring the hands to the blocks. Good, keep the chest lifted as you would in a little cow pose. And then as you exhale, you're going to take the hips back, letting the front knee straighten. The toes will stay down, so keep the foot flat on the floor. Hands on the blocks, chest pulling forward, hips pulling back, so you're feeling the hamstring stretch in that right leg. Take a full breath in right here. A full breath out. This time, inhale, lift your toes, so you're flexing the foot. You might need to slide it forward a little bit. Just notice the change in sensation with the foot flexed versus pointed. Good, and the next breath, you have 2 options. You can either let the foot turn out slightly to the right, and again, just observing the change in sensation. Or if this feels comfortable, you can take that left hand, you can take the block with you to the outside of that right leg and give it a little twist in the torso as well. One more inhale. One more exhale. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Bring the block with you if you took it. And you'll bring that right foot and knee back underneath you. Come back down to all fours. Inhale into a cow pose. Exhale, bend the elbows, hips back, child's pose. Forehead toward the floor. We'll rock it forward and back a few times. So inhale, coming forward. Lifting the heart, tailbone, long back of the neck. Exhale, elbows toward the floor, hips back toward the heels. Almost like you could drag the forehead along the mat. Twice more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale. Good, coming back to hands and knees. We'll take that thread the needle movement on the left side. So taking both your feet, lifting them up off the mat and swishing them off to the left. Try to keep the same distance between the legs as they were straight behind you. And inhale the left arm open into that twist, pressing the floor away with the right hand. Exhale, feet come back to center as that left arm threads through, coming down onto the side of the face. Inhale, open, swish the feet to the left. And exhale, reach through. Back of the hand on the floor. One more moving like this, inhale. And exhale. Good, inhale, open up. And this time we'll exhale, come down and stay. Good, so keep the right hand exactly where it is. You can give a little press into the right hand and take your gaze up toward the ceiling, giving yourself a little extra twist. Full breath in. Long breath out. Good. Inhale. Press your way back up onto all fours. Find your blocks. And we'll step the left foot forward into the lunge. Take a moment to set yourself up. Left knee over ankle. Your right foot is right behind the right knee, right? And for balance, you can move the left foot out to the left a little bit more. Make sure those blocks are directly underneath the hands. You're going to come back into that 90-90 position versus leaning forward into the hip. All right, so pressing down through the ball and the heel of the left foot, the shin of the right foot. Inhale, circle the arms out, reach the fingertips to the sky. And then the right hand is going to come across to the outside of the left thigh. Fingertips is fine. Maybe you stay here. This is cool. Otherwise, exhale and lean a little bit to the right. And then inhale. See if you can grow a little taller. Exhale. See if you can press down a little more firmly through the left foot and the right shin, keeping you stable. Inner thighs squeezing together can also help with the balance here. One more. Good. On an inhale, come up. Find your blocks with your hands. Send your left foot forward a little bit and then take your hips back. Keep your toes down to start. And just notice how this feels. Little cow pose in the back. All right, so with that left foot still down, feeling the hamstrings. Good, and then next breath in, you're going to lift the toes. Good, keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Good, your next option is to either just let the left toes turn out to about 10 o'clock, or keep the toes facing forward, take that right block and hand to the outside and give yourself a little twist into it. Good, one more inhale. One more exhale. Good. If you've twisted, bring your block back underneath the shoulder. We'll bring that right foot flat to the floor so you can bring some weight to it. Step into your standing forward fold. And if you've got the blocks, then both blocks come forward. And you can just rest with the knees slightly bent, feet parallel. Try to lay the belly on the thighs. A little wider stance is fine to make space for the chest or the belly. Feel free to sway here. Good, and then bring the hands to your thighs on the long inhale. Drop your bum, pull your belly in, lift your chest, and press into the feet to rise up to standing. Good, and I'm going to face the front here. We're going to stand in mountain pose. Arms at the sides of your body. Just do a little rock forward into the balls of the feet and then back into the heels, lifting the toes. Good, we'll use that in a moment. Let's get a little more side body going here. So take your right arm out to the right, reach it up over the head. And then take a side bend to the left, letting the left hand just slide down the leg. Look down at your left heel. So you get a little more stretch in the side of the neck. As you inhale, come up, bring both arms up, bend the elbows, palms face forward, draw the shoulder blades together and lift your chin. So find those upper back muscles squeezing together as your gaze goes up, as your chin lifts up. And then we'll take that side bend to the other side. So left arm up, right fingers down toward the heel, looking down. As you inhale, come up and take that little bend in the upper back. So think like a cobra pose, and then side to side. So to help with the side stretch, it can be useful for the top hand, palm to face down, as you reach over, but the gaze will go down. So inhale nice and slow and try to maintain the speed equal as you come up and as you go over and look down. Good, let's do one more set. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, come up. And exhale, let the arms relax. You can take a roll of the shoulders here. Good. So we're going to do one thing just to see if we need to release any stress or tension. You're going to separate your feet a little bit wider. Toes can face a little bit out. So feet about shoulder width distance apart. And we're going to be able to, bend into a little squat here. So palms face forward, elbows are in tight to the sides of your body. On your inhale, it's like you're going to push something forward to about shoulder height. And as you exhale, you're going to flip the palms up and make little fists, bend the knees and pull the elbows in and back. So you can see how tight my elbows are into the body, right? We'll inhale, stand up and press. Exhale, pull and squat. Knees move out toward the back of your mat. Inhale and exhale. This is a good one to do with the breath out the mouth. Inhale. Inhale. And if there's any stress, you can add a little ha to that exhale, a little sound. So it looks like this. Inhale. Good. Inhale. Two more. Inhale. Inhale. Good. And then come back to standing. Pause for a moment. All right. Face the front of your mat. Mountain pose. We're going to step the left leg back and bend into the right knee for warrior one. So just like you did when the back knee was down, you want to make sure you have a wide enough stance. Knee is over the ankle. Press into the little toe side of the back foot, right? Make sure the back foot is down. Inhale, both arms up and over the head, reaching through the fingers, pressing down, letting the tailbone drop heavy down like a pendulum right between the legs as well. You can stay here. You can bring the hands to the hips. You can also take that left hand across to the right side and take that side bend to the left. Good, breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, come up if you bent to the side. As you exhale, you'll bring both hands behind the back, interlace the fingers. Here's a great place if you want to grab your strap. If the interlacing is uncomfortable, we'll reach the hands back and down, lifting the chest. Stay bent in that front knee for now. And then straighten the front knee as you exhale, fold forward. You can keep the hands behind the back. If it's uncomfortable, you can release the hands down to the floor, to the ankle, to the blocks, wherever you like. Good, we'll take 3 breaths here. If you want to add any intensity to this, you'll bend into the right knee like you're coming back into the warrior. We call this a humble warrior. So the right shoulder will be toward the inside of the right knee. This is an option. Make sure you can breathe. The breath is the priority. Take one more inhale. One more exhale. Inhale, lift your head and your chest. Press into your feet to rise all the way back up to standing. And release the hands if they're still interlaced and face the long edge of your mat. Toe heel your feet in so they're about hip width distance apart. And if you have a block, then bring it between your thighs. And you'll know which direction to face it because it's just going to be about mountain pose width. And for those of you who have had me teach in person, you know, I used to say this is like holding a kitten, right? So you don't want to kill the kitten and you don't want the kitten to run away. So there's a little bit of holding here. Right, we'll take the arms forward, palms facing down as you bend into the knees. Look at your toes, make sure you can see them so the knees go back. There's a little squeeze on the block. As you inhale, stand up, let the arms come up over the head. You can widen the arms here. Good, and then exhale, we'll come right back down. So sitting back into the chair pose, little engagement of the lower abdomen. Inhale and rise up. If you want to add to this, you'll raise up onto the balls of the feet. And as you exhale, you'll lower, you'll sit back. You can swing the arms back into the ski jumper if you like. And we'll do a couple more. Inhale. So you can make this as big as you like. Exhale, or keep it small. Good, keep the chest lifted. Good, inhale. Head up, Nancy. The whole time. Yes, better. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Good, standing back up to mountain pose. Release that block from between the thighs. And we'll step to the top of the mat once again. And this time we will take, let's see, which foot did we take back? Take the right foot back. All right, we want to be in, we want to be in warrior one on the other side, right? So get your stance, the length of your stance. Make sure when you bend that front knee, it's over the ankle. Make sure you're wide enough here, right? Let the tailbone relax toward the floor. Little toe side of the back foot is active, so you're kind of spreading across the inner thighs here. Inhale, take the arms up, root down through the feet. You can stay right here. I feel when I do this a little squeeze of my right glute, so you might notice that as well. If you want to take this further, right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh, and then we take a little stretch over to the right. Deep breath in. Make sure you can breathe wherever you are. That is the priority. Inhale, come up. We'll straighten the front knee. Hands can come behind the back. Interlace the fingers with the opposite index finger in front. Draw the hands down. lift the chest, lift the gaze, press equally into the feet. And as you exhale, you'll fold over that front leg, which is straight, but that doesn't mean that you can lock that front knee, right? Because that's cheating. We want to use the muscles, not the joints. And then you have the option to rebend into that left knee, but don't let the left butt cheek lean out to the left. That's called a humble warrior. You can always use the strap or a towel in the hands. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. We'll all inhale to come up. Pressing strongly into the feet. Good, and then step the feet together to the front of the mat. Inhale, circle the arms out and up over the head. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward. Bend the knees enough that the fingertips at least can touch the floor. And then inhale, halfway lift, make an L shape with your back. So hug the belly in, press those thighs back, draw the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bend the knees and let yourself drape over the legs. Inhale, lifting the chin and the chest, press into the feet, circle the arms up over the head. Extend the fingers up, press both feet down. We'll come right back down, swan diving down, bending the knees. Let the head and neck relax, top of the head toward the floor. Inhale, halfway lift, this one we work. And then on that exhale, we relax. Inhale, rise to stand through that flat back, strong lower back, strong abdominals. Good, last one, exhale, fold forward. Inhale halfway. And then exhale, bring your hands to the floor, bring your knees to the floor. Widen your knees out to the edges of the mat. Take a child's pose. Any variation with the arms, if you want to stretch them long for some work. If you'd like to take a downward facing dog, you can do that as well. Otherwise, just rest. Deep breath in through the nose. And breath out however you like. Twice more like this. All right, and then we're going to come forward onto the belly. We're going to do a little rocking seal tonight for our back bends. So laying face down, you're going to take your arms out to that cactus or that goalpost shape on the floor. So palms face down. My thumbs are on the edges of my mat, but all my fingers are off, just to give you a sense of like how wide, but you'll get a sense for it for yourself. Put your forehead down. And then like we always do with these face down back bends, I'd like you to bring your attention to your feet, spin your heels out or your inner thighs up toward the ceiling to create some space in the low back. And then start to reach your toes back so that your thighs engage and they might even come up off the floor a little bit. Hug the belly in and squeeze your glutes just a little bit here tonight. And then lift your feet up off the mat 1 inch, but keep reaching them back as if the tippy toes could touch the wall behind you, right? Thighs might come off the floor a little bit, and there's a little touch of a glute squeeze. Your upper body is down, right? Take one breath in, one breath out. Good, set the feet down, but keep a little bit of that engagement in the legs. Now press into the hands, lift the chest, draw the shoulders down away from the ears. And if you want, you can lift the elbows and just press yourself up a little higher. Try not to get into the low back. So keep the low ribs on the floor, keep the legs just as active as when you were lifting them up. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, the upper body will lower, the lower body will lift. So lift the feet, drop the head, drop the chest. Inhale, press into the hands, lift the chest, drop the feet. And exhale. Good, we'll go back and forth. So your legs are staying active. You can keep the elbows on the floor, especially if it feels like it's getting into the low back, but the chest, the heart is lifting, and you're rocking forward and back with a lot of control, a lot of length in your spine. Inhale up and exhale, lower. Good, last time, breath in. And breath out, lower everything to the floor. Turn your right ear down to the floor so your head's looking to the left. Straighten your right arm out to about shoulder height. Palm is going to face down. You'll slide your left hand in front of your chest. Press into your left hand and roll onto your right side. You can keep the legs stacked here, or if you like, you can drop the left foot behind the right leg. So your right arm is kind of weirdly behind you, giving you hopefully a nice stretch across the front of the chest. You can always ease up on that by rolling back toward your belly. Good, 2 more breaths. Good. Take your time to roll back onto the belly. And from here, you'll extend your left arm straight out to the left, palm facing down. Turn your head to the other cheek. The right hand comes to the side of your right chest. And then start to roll yourself onto the left side. Legs can stay stacked, or you can bring the right foot behind the left leg. 3 breaths here. Inhale, come back onto your belly very slowly. Good, bring both hands underneath your shoulders, press your way back up. And rock back to child's pose. Arms extended, reach the fingers forward, inch them forward, drop the head. And then we'll slowly make our way back onto the back. Feet flat, knees bent to start. And then once you're settled, knees and thighs to the chest. Little massage of the low back. We'll take both knees in close to the chest and drop yourself over to the right into a fetal position. Open your arms like wings, and then let the left arm and shoulder blade drop as close to the floor behind you as possible. Turn your head to look over the left shoulder. And you can place the right hand on top of the knees if you like. If the knees are far away from the floor, take a block and stick it underneath your bottom knee, underneath your right knee there. We'll take 3 breaths in the twist. Of course, if you have a variation that you like, you're welcome to take that instead. On an inhalation, bring everything back to center, head, arms, knees, and squeeze. And then let yourself rock all the way over to the other side, knees close to the chest. Open the arms into that T. Take your gaze over the right shoulder. Support the left knee with a block. If the block is too large, you can tuck the blanket down there. Or take any variation of the reclined twist that you would prefer. 3 breaths. On your next inhale, slowly gather everything to center. Let the feet come down to the floor, heels close to your seat, so you could bring some weight into the feet, arms down to the sides, palms face down, and just give a little wiggle, reaching the fingers toward the heels so the shoulder blades connect to the floor. We'll end with a little moving bridge. So on your next inhale, reach your fingers toward your heels, and then arms will come up as the hips lift. Arms go over the head, open into a V. And then as you exhale, you'll reach the arms back up toward the ceiling. As the hips touch the floor, so do the palms. Good. Taking a few on your breath, inhales to lift. Keeping the big toe sides of the feet pressing into the floor. Knees don't splay out. Touch everything down at the same time. Last one, inhale. At the top, the chest moves toward the chin. Exhale. Let everything come down. Good. From here, you can extend the legs out or set yourself up for any variation of Shavasana that you'd like. You have all the props, so you can use the blanket to cover up. You might use the block for a supported bridge. You take your time, get yourself comfortable. Let the hands rest where they're most comfortable, on the body sometimes. Sometimes out to the sides with the palms facing up. Let yourself become still. So get all those wiggles out now. Let the eyes close and the forehead soften. Relax the jaw, and the shoulders and the hips. Let your attention settle to the belly. Feel the belly rise as you inhale. Feel the belly fall as you exhale. And for the remainder of our time in Shavasana tonight, we will count down from 11 to 1, watching the belly breathe. So mentally repeating to yourself, 11, belly rises, 11, belly falls, 10, belly rises, 10, belly falls, 9, belly rises, 9, belly falls, and so on. Continue on your own until you Land at 1. There is no rush at all. When you arrive at 1, your mantra becomes simply belly rises, belly falls. You find that your mind has wandered elsewhere, bring it back to the feeling of the belly. Breathe. Three more breaths like this. And then releasing the mantra, just feeling the whole body resting here on the floor. Whole body breathing. Bring your attention down to the toes and let the toes begin to spread and wiggle. Maybe the ankles rotate a little bit. And you stretch to the legs. And then coming up to the fingers, letting the fingers spread and wiggle. Maybe wrists rotate, arms stretch out. Very slowly make your way onto one side of your body. And notice any urge to pop yourself right up into a seat. Stay on your side. Acknowledge that feeling and know that you have a choice. You can stay and take a full breath in and a full breath out, just appreciating the time that you spent in class today. And then very intentionally using your hands to press your way up to a way of sitting that feels comfortable for you. And making sure you can feel both sitting bones. On your inhale, circle the arms out and up overhead, lengthening both sides of the waist, reaching up through the fingers. Good. Bring the palms together down in front of the chest, keeping the lift of the chest and the ease of the shoulders. Bow the head to the heart. Deep breath in. And a big exhale. Thanks for joining me tonight. Namaste.